Grind Time TV. What's going on? This is Prince, Beast Mode Detailing. Man, it's been a while since I made a video. You know, at least not when I made a video, but release any videos. You know, so this will probably be one of the first ones that I release. I've been incredibly busy, bro. Incredibly busy. Anyway, I want to just go over real quick something that's been on my mind. You know, I was talking to this guy, a detailer, not too long ago, and we were talking about this particular spray wax, right? And it's a lot you can learn from a person. Like if I talk to you for about 30 minutes, right? It's a lot of things that you reveal about yourself that most people may not pick up on, right? But I pick up on that stuff. You know, I listen very closely to the details, right? And skip all the fluff, right? So anyway, I'm talking to this detailer. We're talking about this particular spray wax. He said, yeah, I used it, right? It was great. And he said that, and this is what you need to catch up on. He said, yeah, I sprayed it, I used it, and it worked so well that I didn't even have to buff and wax the customer car, right? And the customer can't tell, right? And the customer can't tell. And it's true, I use the same spray wax, and that joint looks like you've been buffing this mug all day, right? But the situation is this, right? If you charge the customer to buff and wax their car, and you didn't buff and wax it, that's messed up, right? That shows me right there, and that shows the lack of character of who you are, right? Now, that's called cutting corners, right? So you shouldn't cut corners. And what it does, man, it causes a ripple effect into your life, right? Inconsistent, right? That's what it says about you, that you're inconsistent. And basically that's how your life is. And so basically, man, you reap what you sow, right? And you cause this huge ripple effect into your life, right? It may seem like a small thing, right? It may seem like a small, insignificant thing, but that joint has compound effect, and it keep coming back, and it shows in your work. It shows in basically everything that you do, right? That you don't go 100, right? You don't go 100. You're just looking for the results, right? Versus someone who goes 100, right? Let me give you an example. And this is how I got my first shop, man. A big warehouse, man. I got a huge warehouse, man. So anyway, I got called to do this SUV, right? And in Durham, you have to put down the tarp and all that stuff so you can catch, recycle your water and all that good stuff. So I went out to my man spot, right? And I'll never forget it. It was a white SUV. I can't remember the type it was. I think it was a GMC, I'm not sure. Anyway, I went in the office, I met with the guy. He said the truck is around back. I went around back, right? And I do what I'm supposed to do, right? I put down my tarp, right? I had no idea who this guy was, by the way. No idea, right? Put down the tarp, pulled his truck on it. He came outside. He was looking after about an hour into the job. He came outside to look at his truck, right? He seen us out there, banging it out, going 100, right? And again, we don't know who this guy is. We don't care, right? We're just doing what we do best, right? And if you a detailer, bro, if you a detailer, do the best that you can do, bro. Don't half step a customer car, right? So I'm doing what we've been trained to do, what we've been born to do, right? We're doing the best that we can, right? On my man truck. So as I'm hooking it up, finished it, gave it back to him, right? He was happy, paid my price for it. I think we charged him like $250. Paid my price for it, no problem, right? Left, boom. 2 weeks later, he called me back. He said, said my dog urinated in my truck, right? So my whole truck smelled like piss, right? So I told him what to do. I said, listen, this is what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to do a full interior detail, and then what I'm gonna do, we're gonna disinfect everything, and what I'm gonna do is drop a chemical bomb in it, right? And the chemical bomb will tear up anything that my physical hand couldn't touch. The chemical bomb will take care of it, and your car will be smelling like brand new, like really like fresh, brand new. Like, I'm not talking about a new car scent. I'm saying like when you buy a new car, how it smell, that's what that chemical bomb does, right? So went out there, and again pulled out the tarp, right? And we're about to get starting to detail my man's truck, and I told him, man, this thing is like $350, right? And he was willing to pay it, no big deal. So we went out there, started prepping for the truck, and it began to rain, right? Now we're doing the interior detail, so it really didn't make a difference to me, right? And this is early in my career, right? Early in. And then he told me, he said, listen, once you guys pull the truck on the inside of the warehouse, right? And finish it up in there. I said, yo, no problem. That's what we did, right? Pull it inside. And at that point, when I was inside of the warehouse, detailing the truck, I had my man with me, and he was like, yo, Prince, this is dope, man. It's raining outside, and we still in here detailing cars, right? I was like, yeah, man, I wish I could afford something like this, man. It'd be great, man. Now, I don't know if the dude truck who I was detailing heard me, because his office was like right there, right? I don't know that. So we finished up, we hooked that mug up, we went 100 in it, and again, I don't know who this guy is. I don't know if he worked for this company or owned this company. Alright, so after we finished, he called me back 2 weeks later, right? He said, there's something I want to discuss with you, right? He said that I own a construction company, right? I want to know, how much would you charge to clean all my construction trucks? And I said, well, I need to see them first, right? Again, you never give, if you're going to do a big contract, right? You never give an estimate over the phone. Never give an estimate over the phone. Go out and see what you're getting yourself into, so you can give a proper estimate. And when you go out there, make sure you have your portfolio, right? Have your business cards, have everything that the guy may need in order to get back in contact with you, but have so much and have it so professional that when the next guy come out there, if he calls someone else, right, and they come out to check out the contract, if they come out, right, the only thing they're gonna bring is a business card, right? You got before and after photos of vehicles that you've already done. Let's say it was like, for me, I had before and after photos of dump trucks that I've already done, right? Because this wasn't the first time that we did a construction contract, right? So I went out there, and I was gonna charge my man $110 per truck, right? And that was to keep him up once a month, $110 per truck. He had 10 trucks, right? 10 trucks, not including like the ditch witch and all that stuff. He wanted those joints clean too, right? So I went there with my portfolio, right? And he was impressed by it. Like, he was like, yo, this is tight. I wish my company were more like you. I wish people in my company were more like you. And so, but he said, listen, this is what we can do. He said, listen, I got a warehouse, man. I'm not even using it, right? He said, how about you clean my trucks, and I let you use the warehouse to detail cars in, right? And I was like, huh. Well, let me see the warehouse, right? And we went to the warehouse, and the truck was like 2,600, like 3,000 square feet, basically, right? 3,000 square feet. Like, this joint is, I can put 15 cars in it comfortably, right? Right? Anyway, I'm in this joint, and like, this is not even including, it's 3,000 square feet, not including the office space, right? So like, you can go into the office space where I had the customers sit down at, right? There was 2 office spaces. One was my office, one was just what I call the waiting room, right? And I went in, I was like, yo, this joint is humongous. There's no way I can afford this is what I'm thinking to myself. I didn't tell him that. This is no way I can afford the light bill and the water bills for this month. This is like too much, right? And I'm looking around and I'm seeing stuff. And I was like, look, I would love to be here, man, but I can't afford. And I'm being honest with him, man. I said, listen, I can't afford the light bill and the water bill to this place. I can't afford that. Even if I'm doing your trucks, I can't afford it. He said, don't worry about the lights and the water. I got that. What I need for you to do is basically just clean my trucks, right? And my truck occasionally, and then my wife's truck occasionally, right? And I said, well, okay, right? Now, that's from going 100 every single. That's from doing. See, the universe has to repay you back for the work that you put in, regardless of how much it was, right? Right? If you always put more into the detail, you give more than what the customer's actually paying. Not only will you have a customer pretty much for life, but the universe is going to repay you for anything that you did not get from that detail. As far as like if you didn't get paid for it, right? The universe is going to make sure that you get paid for it. Like, I don't know anyone else that ran across a situation like that. The dude gave me a shot. My first shot, gave it to me, right? Now, eventually he ended up selling the building, so I had to move because the new owners of the building was like, nah, dude, we ain't got no trust. It's gonna be $2,500 a month, right? And I was like, ooh, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? I had to do my thing, right? I had to do my thing. But I was there for like 3-4 years, bro. I was there for 3-4 years. This camera looking kind of weird. All right, so yeah, I was there for like 3-4 years, man. And here's what's crazy about it, right? Here's what's crazy about it. And I think it was like a test for me, for the universe to like I don't know. I built up a lot of selling skills because even though I had this great big shop, right? The joint was like it wasn't on the main street, right? It was like around. You couldn't even find it on Google Maps, morning. You couldn't even find it on Google Maps, right? I had to literally tell customers. I had to walk customers from the telephone on how to get here, right? That's how it was, right? So in the beginning, I had hardly no traffic, like no traffic. I was in that joint. I was like, only cars I'm washing is my man trucks, right? Anything else, I'm going out to detail it, right? And you know, we had the car lots at that time, so we started telling the car lots that you need to bring the cars up to the shop, right, to detail it up there because it's much better. We got hot water, you know what I'm saying? We got everything we need, right? And plus we were shade, we got air conditioning. Man, it was like wonderful. Oh, but here's something else. There's something else about that shop though. When I first moved in, like I said, it's 3,000 square feet, so like this joint is like huge, right? And but some of the light fixtures was out, right? And my man told me that before I move in, he'll go ahead and have those light fixtures taken care of, right? So but here's what happened. I got into the joint, and 3 months had passed by before one light fixture was done. So I was basically in that joint, detailing cars in the dark, right? It wasn't like completely dark, but like if you think of a 3,000 square foot warehouse and you got like, you know, like 3-4 lights up there, right? And the rest of it takes, let's say it takes 6 lights, but 3 of them are out, right? So it's pretty dim in there, right? And even though it was dim, you know, we still detail cars in there, but here's something that we picked up that we didn't realize until later on, is that because we've been detailing in the dark, right? And what we had to do, we detail in the dark, right? Inside the warehouse, then we'll pull it outside into the sunlight to see if we missed anything, right? And we end up missing a lot of stuff, right? So we'll tighten it back up, and then the next car we do the same thing. We kept doing the same thing, not knowing that sooner or later when we start pulling those cars out, right, that there was no errors in them. So basically we train our eyes to detail in the dark, right? So when we go out and detail in the light, like that's just a benefit for us, man. We got so good at detailing, we got so good at watching just the little things. Like we had gained superpower, super detailing eye, right? So when we get out there and detail someone's car, they're like, good God. Even if we slack up, our slack jump was 10 times better than where it was going, right? So definitely do yourself a favor and definitely give the customer what they paid for and beyond, right? Because it's just going to help you out in the end. Now, I'm not saying that stuff will come right back to you like immediate that same day. I'm not saying that, right? But you will see if you get into the habit of doing more than what the client is actually paying for, right? Then you will see, right? Like for instance, everybody who joined Team Beast Mode, right? I didn't tell them this at the beginning that, okay, listen, I'm gonna hook you up with your own app, right? I'm gonna put it on the Google Play Store. You ain't got to pay nothing, bro. I'm gonna hook you up, right? One, because I want to take care of guys. That's number one. I want to take care of guys. Number two, I have to follow what I believe in, and I believe in giving more than what the customer actually is paying for, right? I believe in that, right? And I've seen the benefits of it in my own life, right? Now, if you're just starting out in detailing, and it seems like things are going like really slow now, during this time, you should be making money right now, right? You should be making a little bit of money. This is June. My freaking phone is blowing up, right? Freaking phone blowing up. People hitting me up. People looking online like it's been crazy. It's been, especially on the weekends. It's been crazy, right? And I haven't done any more advertising. Everything that's coming in right now is organic for my business here in North Carolina. It's organic, right? I'm not doing anything, right? All the things that I set up is set there and it's set forever, right? And so that stuff is just coming in. I haven't been on Craigslist. I haven't been on LinkedIn. I haven't been on Instagram. I haven't been on Facebook, right? It's just that the stuff that I've already placed into position, it's mature, right? It's mature. And so it's just bringing in dough. That's all it is, right? So now it's become a funnel, right? It's become a funnel, and it brings in its own money. Now I can go work on something else. It brings in its own money. I'm not saying that I can't every now and then. It don't need a tune-up. I'm not saying that, but it brings in its own money. So you definitely want to. Guys who just got started into detailing, right? And it seems like it's really slow, right? Do the best that you can. All right. Here's something crazy. If you going, this is what God wants from you, right? God wants your absolute best. There was two guys. All right, there was two guys, Cain and Abel. I'm sure you heard of the story, Cain and Abel, right? And Cain killed Abel. Why did Cain kill Abel? Because he was jealous of him. Basically, God asked him to offer up a sacrifice, right? But when you offer up a sacrifice to God, you have to offer your best, right? And Cain didn't offer his best. He kept the best for himself, right? But Abel offered his best, everything that he had, right? I'm giving God 120%. Then this is how you have to have your heart for your business, right? That I'm gonna give everything to this one detail. I'm putting my heart into it. Everything into it, right? Everything into it, right? And when you do that time and time again, right? This is what God wants from you. God wants your absolute best, man. If you're going out there and you killing this mug, even if the best you can bring in is 10,000 a year, right? God gonna make sure you taken care of as long as you did your best, right? If you bring in 100,000 a year, God's still gonna take care of you, right? There's nothing that you will have to worry about if you're giving your best. You're giving 100, right? You put 120, that's all he wants, right? And God gonna take care of you. Like this planet is ran, this dimension is ran by rules, it's ran by laws, right? And if you give 100, guess what? It got to come back, bro. God gonna make sure that you are taken care of, bro. But you gotta stay in there long enough to where it manifests, right? And you have to stay in there long enough, right? Here's another example of something that happened in my life. I had started this church basketball team, right? Right. That's why I tell you about fundraising. But I started this church basketball team, right? And the first year we did it, I was using all the kids out the church, and we got destroyed because we was playing in the city league. right? And we got destroyed. Kids at the church didn't even have the strength to throw the ball to the hoop. And so what I did, I went recruiting, right? I went out, found some kids in the hood, right? Hooked them up. Everybody. I had about 25. I had about maybe 30 kids, right? One of the biggest basketball teams that these guys have had in the league, right? I was one of the biggest ones, right? Usually it's only 10, 11, 12 guys, right? I had 30, right? So when we roll in the gym, we roll deep, right? The church didn't give me any money. I put my own money into it, right? And I didn't have bread like that, right? And I was doing mobile detailing at the time. I didn't have bread like that. But I told them that every time we win, we're going to eat pizza at CC's, right? Buffet style, right? And you paying 30 kids, that's almost $200, man, right? And so sometimes I'd be like, oh, they don't win today because I ain't got it, right? But anyway, so we start blowing teams out, man. And again, God made sure I had that $200 to pay every single time. I had the $200 to pay for the food. I also had to kick out the money for their uniforms, right? I also had to pay, I had gas. I had to go pick them up in my detail van, right? What I did, I just pulled all the equipment out and let them sit in the back of the cargo, right? And so this is what happened one year. So one year we got into the second place, right? And then I stopped, right? I stopped doing it, right? I stopped doing it. 2 years later, I ended up working for Time on the Cable, at the time of Time on the Cable. And now I went from making, like, at the time of my detailing business, I was probably making about $25,000, $30,000 a year, right? I jumped from there, and this is what I'm telling you, how the universe will give back to you, because I gave what I could to those kids, right? I just did it, right? And so the universe, so now I'm making like $60,000, $70,000 a year at Time on the Cable, right? Just like that, right? I was working for a contract company, and this is crazy. I was working for this one contract company, and they didn't want me to go out in the field to do like contract work, so they had me in a warehouse. Now, even though my uncle, he worked for him, so he hooked me up with a job. My uncle worked for him, but he had trained me. Now, the normal guys, they get trained about 3 weeks. My uncle trained me for like a year, right? But even after a year, they wouldn't let me go out in the field, right? I would go out in the field, like I would get stuff like what people didn't want to do, right? Like like late in the evening, the 5 to 7 jobs, right? 5 p.m. to 7. I still took them. I didn't care, right? I took them joints. And so, because I had gotten so good that I can do them joints in like 10 minutes, no big deal, right? So I got them joints. They had me working in the warehouse, and as I'm working in the warehouse, I'm cleaning up the office, and I hear the managers talking about a better way to train people, right? And I said, okay, listen, and this is crazy, man. This is crazy. This is how God like really used a situation to your best, right? So I went in there. Well, I wait till after the meeting, then I went in there as I was cleaning up, and I knew I was going to do it. I went in there and I said, listen, I heard you guys talking about training. You having a problem with training? They said, yeah. I said, I got an idea if you want to hear it. You got time to hear it? He said, what you got? I said, how about if you take your best guys, right? The best guy, let's say all the managers, right? We record them doing a job. Each job we record it, and we use that as a training tape, and we give that to the newbies, so when they need to look up something on how to do like a phone install, they can just go to that video and there it is, right? And they was like, yo, dude, that's hot. Yeah, we can do that, right? And I said, this is what killed me on that job. I said, well, I would like to be compensated for that idea. It's compensated, right? This is our stuff. You can't. I said, yeah, but y'all didn't even have the idea. I said, it was my idea, right? Y'all sitting here scratching your head. I just gave you the door. I just gave you the keys to the kingdom. I just gave it to them, right? Anyway, I ended up getting fired a week later. I got fired a week later, man, right? And I was like, yo. And I talked to the boss, the big boss. He had nothing to do with it, right? It was all the managers. And I talked to the big boss. I said, listen, is it really because of the idea and I actually get paid for it? And he said, to be honest with you, I believe that's what it is, you know, but I have to keep this team tight, you know what I'm saying? And I can't have any ripples in it, man, so I'm sorry, but here's what I'm going to do for you. I want you to go down the street to this other guy, right? He has a contracting group, and he's looking for help, and I'm sure he'll help you out. Listen, check this out, right? I went over there, and he hired me, first day, no big deal. I was doing installs like everybody else, right? I'm killing it, right? Now, because I was used to doing 5 to 7 work, so I'm used to being out late anyway, right? I got everything in the morning, everything in the afternoon, and everything in the evening, right? So I'm baking bread, bruh. Baking bread on, right? And they was like, because they never seen that before, most people want to go home early, right? But me, I take everything, right? And it was like, this dude right here is a monster, right? This dude is a monster. So in 3 months, I was a supervisor, right? Making $70,000 a year in 3 months, right? Because I simply outworked the competition at the job. They couldn't outgrind me, baby. They couldn't outwork me, right? Again, do more than what the customer's asking for, man. And God will make sure that you are okay. Now, I end up losing that job and end up going back to mobile detailing, right? But not until after I had bought this big house, not until after I had this great big pool in the back, not until I had I was living the life. Now, I was doing pretty good, man. But even in that, God wanted more out of me, right? That's why I'm back in mobile detailing. That's why I'm out teaching guys about different methods that I've learned by being a supervisor inside of the sales department with Time Warner Cable, things that I picked up from them that I said, oh my God, I can use this for mobile detailing, right? Right? Because again, every company has to sell. Every company has to do marketing, right? Right? And I talk to kids, I talk to cats, and he's like, yo, I did everything you said, Prince, and you know, it's just not working. I said, well, how many times you do it, bro? You're not doing a lot, man. Well, how many times you do it? Look, man, I haven't been doing it the way I'm supposed to be doing it. But, man, I need some help, man, okay? You know what I'm saying? I got other obligations. I said, well, there you go. That's your problem right there. Right? Because if you're really about it, right, you'll find the time to do it. Right? If you gotta wake up early, an hour earlier to get in your advertisement, that's what you would do. If you gotta stay later, you gotta stay up later, that's what you would do to get your advertisement done, right? And you gotta bang that joint every single day. There's no day off, right? Today is Sunday, I'm supposed to be going to church. I'm going to church, but I said, ain't no day off, right? Ain't no day off. It takes one time for you to slip, and your whole joint is done, right? People want to get the reward without putting in the work. You gotta put in the work, bro. You got to put in the work. There's no way around it, right? I have no special technique that I could show you where you can get around the process. No, the process is gonna teach you, baby. It's gonna teach you. It's gonna teach you. I know guys. I had detailers on the team that has, you know, as soon as they came out, they start getting contracts like immediately. Guys who have came out and already got like 6 people working for them, right? And then I got other guys who seem to be struggling for some strange reason, right? Right? Same information, different result. And people can blame and say that, well, it's where I live at, right? I don't have enough. It's only 10,000 people in it. Well, if it's only 10,000 people there, and let's say everybody got 2 cars, that's 20,000 cars. Somebody better clean them, right? And let it be you, right? Let it be you. There's no excuses, man. When I had that shop, and it was off the highway, it was behind some trees, you couldn't see it on Google Maps. I still end up pumping so much work into that daggone place, man. I pumped work in that joint, bro. Right? People were like, what is he doing over there? Right? What is that cat doing bringing this much traffic? I had him coming in one end of the warehouse, back out the other. He was killing it up in that joint, bro. Killing it. Once I figured out, oh, okay, this is what I gotta do, I start pumping. And so that was it, man. So hope I said something to bless you this morning, man. And again, I gotta apologize for not being able to make these videos like this. But I'm making this on Sunday, man, so I might release it on Monday morning. to you know, help you guys out for this week, give you some encouragement this week, to keep driving, keep striving, keep pushing forward, man. There's definitely gold at the end of the rainbow, right? You just gotta keep going. There's gold there, right? Keep going, and don't allow anyone to stop you, man. So I hope I said something to bless you. Till next time, grind time. Prince, beast mode detailer.